Hi, my name is JC Ring, and today I'm going to be presenting my research paper that is about freedom of speech with technology. So, freedom of speech is a great, privilege we have as Americans. America is known to be the land of the free. It's great that we can say whatever we want, whenever we want, online, in person, with no kind of really consequences. We can talk about our political views, our religious views, our anything really. We can share it to the whole world. And other countries are not as privileged in this area of freedom of speech. Like some countries, the government they monitor what they say online, and so they might have censors that they can't say certain things or talk about certain things. Also, if they do say it might get taken down, or they might get punished for something that they've said. So yeah. And technology is used in everyday life, everywhere, all day, every day. It's to make our life all around easier, whether it's at work, when we're using our laptop or our emails, or even printing stuff or faxing stuff, or in our everyday life, like using our cell phones to call and talk. But almost everyone, if not, is a small percentage of that people that do not have social media, whether it's Pinterest, Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, you name it. Everyone's probably got it. And those are social media is a platform that you can share what you're feeling, you can share videos of yourself or of other people, you can share pictures, you can share comments, anything you want to the public. So they can see it, they can comment back, or some of those social medias have things where you can make it private, so where only certain friends can see and comment on what you're saying. But for the most part, it's pretty much out there. Even if you are private, they can still see some of the stuff. So social media is a great way to use our right as freedom of speech to connect and contact with everybody. Do people have consequences with freedom of speech and with technology? Yes and no. It's a kind of a debate. So companies may fire employees over stuff that is said on social media, whether it's during office hours or out of office hours, and if it offends the company, or if it's causing problems, it can cause people to lose their jobs. Is it fair? That's where it's the debate comes in. Some people say well, that's not fair because it's outside of work and it doesn't matter. But some people can argue and say, yeah, because that's your company that you work for. So that's where the debates go in. Most companies have a problem with political views and beliefs online, if it goes against what they believe or the company itself kind of portrays, or religious beliefs, it might cause a problem what you're sharing, or spreading company secrets. If you work for Cane's and you're spreading the cane sauce recipe all over social media, the company might get mad at you because obviously most people go for the cane sauce. That's one of the main perks of going to Cane's is for their sauce. And if you're sharing it with the whole world on how to make it freely, then it's going to cause the company some problems because you're losing business for them. And it can cause problems, and it might cause you to lose a job over that. Also, spreading company top secret information, if you're working for the government or something and you spread something like that, that can cause a huge problem. Or if you're bashing the company, So like if you're bashing the company in any way, like you don't agree with it or the way it works, or if they did something wrong and you're posting it all over social media, even if it's outside hours, it can still cause people to lose their jobs or get in like really big trouble at work. Or if you're talking about other people, other employees, or like customers that you had that day, if you're sharing it all over social media, it can cause the company to disagree. Mainly because companies have their brand, their mission statement, or their like image that they want people to portray. So like if it's a Christian company and they hire all these employees and one of them's going out dressed indecently, like half naked, partying, drinking hardcore, but sharing it all over every social media, taking pictures and videos, and they're doing it all the time, the company might get aggravated and it's gonna show a bad image. Like if you put on Facebook that you work there and you're sharing this all the time, like after hours, like then the company might be like, well, because obviously the company should talk to you about it first, like, look, we don't like this or agree with what this is happening outside of work, but if it keeps happening, you could potentially lose your job. So that kind of stuff could happen. My first example, the example that I have is the Kumbacha girl, and you might know her from TikTok, or like if you've seen her memes around. Her real name is Brittany Tomlinson, and she is a great example for this because she was a bank worker and she had like a mid-level position. She wasn't like the highest up there, but she wasn't like the lowest in the company, and she really liked her job. She was like happy with it and she was making good money and could see herself growing there. So she got TikTok like every other normal young adult or kid has, and she decided to like make a few videos. Well, she made one trying this Asian drink, and she just wanted to like do her review as her very first like taste of it, and she wanted to get the full reaction on her like review of it. Well, she did this, and obviously it got like a few likes and shares here and there. Well, as like a week went by, she saw like one of her friends screenshot and sent a picture to her that somebody had taken pictures from her video and made a meme into it. They had some inappropriate context in it, of course, and it was all on this like media page, and it had like a couple of thousand likes and shares, and she was like, wow, okay, I guess this is all right. And so she messaged the guy who initially made it, was like, look, this is me, and he was like, oh, cool. So she just kind of like forgot about it, and as time went on, she kept seeing it here and there with different like contexts, and it was like really funny, the context with it, and she was like, cool. Well, obviously it started getting more viral, and she was at work one day and people kept coming in and they were like, oh my gosh, you're the girl from online. She was like, yeah. So her boss pulled her in and was like, look, I've been seeing you online, and the context that people are using with your face is not really good for our company, because like they know you work here and it's showing, like, and the context is showing. So you're gonna have to make a decision if you want to stay here or if you want to like lose your job. So she was like, obviously I wanted to stay there. I really like that job, and where else would I do? So she went home and deleted the post, but it was already out there, so she really couldn't delete everybody's. So she, obviously time went on, and her post got even more viral. So she ended up losing her job at the bank, and she was kind of sad, but she now does stand-up comedy. But here's her initial video. And you can see it was totally innocent. Like
it really smells like a public restroom. It smells like a public restroom. You know what? No. Well.
So in her video, you can see it was totally innocent, clean, like a simple video, but it got turned and twisted to more things. But another example is like cyberbullying, because people aren't held responsible or have any consequences sometimes to what they say, like if it's outside of work. Like people are using harsh words and comments online, and it's bullying kids, and it's causing like a lot of problems with teenagers nowadays and kids, because people are saying harsh, mean things to them, because kids can say anything online, and a lot of kids are getting away with it without having any consequences. And it's just, people just need to have a little more consequences and to be maybe censored. So that can be the debate for why people think that, because of cyberbullying. Overall, I feel like we should personally monitor ourselves on what we share and say. Like, you should not be posting that if you're doing it purposely to harm another one or say cruel things to them. And if you know, like, if it's gonna offend anyone, I just think that we should monitor personally what we say and should think about it more, like, would you say it to your grandma kind of stuff, before we just blast it all over social media. But thank you for listening. This is my PowerPoint.